Wildfires continue to rip through the western U.S., destroying homes, businesses, parks.
We know that they can get exponentially large very quickly.
Those on the front lines, like James Marug with San Miguel Fire and Rescue in California, say each year the blazes seem to get more destructive.
Prevention's key, and it's the defensible space and the extra few minutes that defensible space gives us to be able to get in and make the difference in someone's home.
And firefighters out west are getting some much-needed assistance in getting rid of some of that vegetation from a team that's hungry to help.
15 years ago, I'd say people need to wake up.
This is not a petting zoo. It says Johnny Gonzalez would call it a work zone.
And I see it as a work zone. They're coming in here and eating what we consider flash fuels, and that's basically broadleaf weeds, grasses, brush.
All that stuff you can see in between the trees here in this field, and the difference of before and after is noticeable.
Our goal is to bring back nature into the equation of fire control. We're not raising these goats to go to the market. These goats are true urban foresters, if you will.
Hundreds of goats right near the road and adjacent to homes.
Goats, depending on the time of year, can eat about anywhere from 7 to 12% of their body weight.
On this current project, the goats are getting through about an acre a day.
Our college actually sits on 165 acres of wildlife, and yet you can see that it's completely overgrown. There's non-native dry brush. And just a few weeks ago, before the goats were here, we actually had a fire on campus and not that far away. And it poses a risk not only to our college, but the surrounding community.
Nicole Salgado is with Cuimeca College, which sits on one side of this big area of dry brush. Hiring the goats just made sense for them, cost-wise.
To have the goats here, it's 20% less than that of a human crew.
You're as safe as is your neighbor, and then it turns into you're as safe as you are the block and then the community. We're now a whole state that's in need of fire fuel mitigation.
It helps out firefighters when it comes time to put out flames.
You harden your house to keep a burglar from coming in. You need to kind of do the same thing with wildfire. You need to look at it and see, what are my vulnerabilities?
As we near the end of wildfire season, Johnny and his herders continue to clear up the spaces they can year-round in a sustainable way.
I see this in the future becoming as common as trash pickup. They really may be, historically and in the future, one of the greatest things of all time for fire fuel mitigation.
I'm Chloe Nordquist reporting.